Hello guys and welcome back to the 2023-24 SDPN NHL season previews. We're taking a look here at a team that is taking some big steps this offseason to hopefully be back in playoff contention in the Columbus Blue Jackets. After getting a pitiful 59 points last year, they arguably made some of the biggest additions this offseason, but the big question is it enough for them? We're going to be answering that question and more as we look at their entire offseason to see what's next. But before we get into the season preview, of course, a big thank you to Sports Interaction for sponsoring today's video. Get in the action and make your bet with Sports Interaction. Baseball and all the sports are going strong right now. You can bet before the game, live, and then play with all your favorite teams. Go to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN or download the app to get started. 19 plus, and please play responsibly. Now let's go on to those off-season additions here for a second, and it was really quality over quantity. The first big one, of course, was getting Adam Fantilli, 3rd overall, which is still a steal in the 2023 draft in my opinion, but he's the type of player that I mean could be in that middle 6 center role already, could pop off for Columbus, especially with how many skilled forwards they could put around him, and already be at a mature level. This last year, 65 points in 36 NCAA games. You also got David Severson, who they got from the New Jersey Devils, 60th overall back in the 2012 NHL draft, but he's developed nicely as this great offensive puck-moving D-man who kind of makes some mistakes here and there, but overall has a lot of positive results. This last year, 33 points in 81 games. I expect in Columbus getting a bigger role and looking pretty good there too. You also got Ivan Provorov, similar situation a little bit. He, of course, acquired from the Philadelphia Flyers, and a big deal there. There's a little bit of risk because with Philadelphia, these last couple of years have not been all too effective. You can see the point numbers, not amazing, but defensively, he's taken some big steps back. In Columbus, though, maybe on a middle pair, if he's given those type of minutes, I could see him thriving a little bit more. But to me, Provorov, it really depends on the situation for him. If they're expecting him to put up first number 1 pair minutes, I'm not quite sure if the results are going to follow. Still, though, this was a defense that needed some type of upgrades, and I would say they definitely went after those, and it does look a lot better than it used to. Now, for the 3 players to watch, the first one is, of course, Adam Fantilli, who is going to be so influential on this Columbus team. I would not be surprised if there is a situation where by the end of the season, he's playing first-line center minutes, getting top power play time, and really being the offensive center on that team. You got Boone Jenner as a center right now, and eventually Fantilli will be that number 1 for sure, but Fantilli, I think, could be a rock star already on the second line center position, be great in that top 6. He is going to be so good on this Columbus team, and especially in the future, so impactful. For my second player to watch, I got Werenski, who was not able to stay healthy for a lot of this last season, but we know what he can do. We know how good he can be offensively, and the results he did put up this last season when he was healthy were fantastic. If he's actually able to stay 100%, that makes Columbus's defense so much better too. And then going on to my third player to watch, I got Elvis Merzlikins, who's really struggled, I guess, these last 3 years, really. His first couple seasons were fine, his rookie season was good, but since then, it really has been a downhill slope. With Merzlikins, they need him to be back at least average level, because the last few years, he's been one of the worst starters in the NHL, and that's not what you want to see. Now let's go in and grade the forwards, defense, and goaltending, and first let's start out with the forwards here, which are the best part of this Columbus Blue Jackets roster, for sure. And when we look at it, they got some solid options. You got Line A, Gaudreau, Fantilli, of course, coming into the fold. Marchenko is really underrated. Roslovic hoping to have a bounce back year. Same thing with Sillinger. Kent Johnson, we'll see how he adapts in another big season. Overall, I would say this forward group is decent. It's solid. I give them a B-, some good standouts, and it'll be a lot better in a couple of years' time. Now let's move on to the defense, and this will obviously be a lot more improved than it was last year, but even then, even with those improvements, if they all stay healthy, I still don't think it's amazing. Of course, you got Werenski really leading the way. Severson maybe on that top pair, we'll see if that ends up happening. Provorov, of course, is a really interesting addition, but overall, I would say the defense is just rather fine. I give them a C+. I still don't think it's going to be a strength, even if they did go after some big players. And then you, of course, go on to that goaltending, and to me, this might be one of the things that does keep Columbus back from a playoff spot. Merzlikins, of course, has shown good things in the past, but getting back to that level will be a different story. You got Daniil Tarasov, 24-year-old young goaltending prospect, who this last year with Columbus wasn't all too great in the games he did play. Maybe we'll see him rebound, though, and maybe a full season as a backup. I would give the goaltending a D+, though. As of right now, Merzlikins has not been good recently, and Tarasov isn't exactly proven as a backup either. Now, going on to the biggest question mark, there's a few I do still have the roster with the defense and the goaltending, but to me, the biggest question mark is, will competitive coaching backfire on the younger players? Of course, Mike Babcock is the new head coach in Columbus, and that's going to be really interesting. I think at the very least, he'll make them competitive. He'll keep them in the race, even if I don't see them making the playoffs. But how much is that really worth it? Even though I think he'll be competitive, even though I think they'll make Columbus competitive, how much is having Mike Babcock, the head coach, players like Kent Johnson and Adam Fantilli and players like Cole Sillinger, these really skilled guys, worth it in the end? Will that backfire against them? Will he make those players' skill sets weaker? That will be the ultimate question here. For Columbus, they have to know that it'll be a good hiring for them. They have to know that he'll still be able to get the best out of those younger players, because that is what's most important for Columbus here, and that's what I think really will make the difference. Overall, though, I see them being about a middle of the NHL. I see them getting 85 to 90 points on the year, 6th in the Metro Division, taking a bigger next step, and especially over 59 points last year. A humongous step for that franchise. Not quite enough to make the playoffs, but still a jump that is worth being proud of. Well, let us know in the comments down below. What do you guys think of the Blue Jackets this next year? Are they improving enough to be a playoff team? Where do you see them placing in the Metro Division as well? Let us know all your thoughts. Of course, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell if you're enjoying the season previews. Next up will be my favorite team in the Dallas Stars. We hope to see you there. 32 team previews in 32 days, and we'll see you every single day. Thank you so much for supporting, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a great day, y'all, and goodbye.